what's up, Fantasy Nerd? Good afternoon, evening, or morning, depending on where you are. Whatever applies. Hope you are well. Hey, what's up, Eli? Connor, hello. Okay. You recognize the bag? Well, it's not. Hopefully not the same bag. That'd be weird. You had your own out last night. It, you know, I don't use it very often. I've only used it on maybe like 3 projects. What's up, Jesse? Were you worried about my sleep? I saw your message. Okay. So the nice part is we're working from a fairly natural shape already, so it should not take a very heavy coat to sell this the way that I want. And I've got a few different surfaces that need to that need the treatment, so I think I'm going to start with the hill itself, and then I'll do the other smaller pieces. T didn't say anything. Okay. No, I'm good. Let's actually move this for a second. Connor, since you just worked with Sculptamold, any tips? Any pointers? Any freshly learned advice that you picked up last night or yesterday? Just enjoy that cloud of paper. Like a plastic bowl. Yeah, we'll make do. Oh, that's probably a good idea in this case. Mix in some brown. Yeah, that's good call. Yeah, I was gonna do a Maybe I'll do a bit of both. How big a surface were you covering, Connor? What's up, Clayface? Welcome to the stream. Let's see. Started playing D&D about 6 years ago. Started crafting a little bit after that. Honestly, for a while, I didn't think I would need to. I was just drawing on like dry erase mats and getting really into that. I was like, this is all I need. And the first terrain, I still have it. The first terrain I ever actually really used in a game I bought from somebody on Etsy. Just to try it out. I was like, okay, let's enhance this dragon fight. And then at some point after that, decided I would try, okay, let me just like try a crafting tutorial. So I followed the fountain tutorial by Black Magic Craft. And I did another one and another one, and I really like how I'm able to basically kind of build my own game, kind of. If I dream something up, I can make it. Yeah. Just one project after the other, and then all of a sudden, here we are. So this black circle on the top is kind of my don't cross this line. Because that's where the topper goes. Not the topper, but the building. Just sort of paint it on. I don't really have a strategy necessarily, just sort of. I've already done all of the pass over all of the rocks and stuff. And I guess that's my only thought, is to really kind of make them look embedded in the hill as much as I can, so those will get kind of buried. We've got a pretty decent sized hill here. So. Plenty to cover. We'll see how many cups we go through. We're on cup number 1, right? Ooh, and actually that reminds me, I didn't update my craft count. My project counters. Obviously another stream in. How many hours did I? What's the last one? Let's see. My last craft stream was just 2 hours. Okay. There we go. You did about a 1-inch strip from the seam of the building where I met the phone. Gotcha. Clayface, your group is very theater of the mind, but you love incorporating little physical elements, tattered parchment from an abandoned manor, dinged up ring from a PC's ancestor. That's awesome. Oh, we can switch it back. I've got both. I've got the power. I've got all sorts of. Actually not, I've only got like 3, but that's one of them. And Clayface, I love stuff like that. I think that props, really anything physical, you know, it's a great way to pull people into the game. I mean, I have to, like, at this point, I do it because it's fun for me, for the most part, because, you know, you can only I think do stuff like this for so long and expect like it to be a, you know, a response from players or like doing it for them. Like obviously the whole game is for them in a sense, but a lot of this stuff is because it is fun and I enjoy it and I like what it does to sort of enhance the game. It's more about it being the type of game that I want to run, I guess, than it is about, you know, anything else. It's what I would find really fun. Same reason that, like, yeah, props, letters, anything physical, kind of puzzly stuff, making puzzles around like actual kind of like code breaking is really fun to do. Like how might people actually pass messages back and forth? I think that's a really fun way to think. It's always interesting what hooks different people, right? For some people, it's the I've actually found a lot of success. Some of my longtime players came from like work team building events. Like if you ever get together with people from work, suggest, hey, one of these times, why don't I just run a game for you guys? And one of my long running groups actually came from something like that. It seemed like everybody had fun. I was like, let me just ask these people if any of them, maybe one or two, will be interested in a campaign. And everybody wanted to do a campaign after that one shot. So you never know what's gonna grab people. And it helps that I worked with really awesome people, so I actually wanted to hang out with them and play games. So wow. Yeah, maybe I'm just patient with my own. Like I think I've probably had as many campaigns halt as I have had them continue. You know, sometimes campaigns just don't work out, and it can be kind of heartbreaking if and when that happens. But there's always another game. It's one of the reasons that I really like running 2 games a week. Because it used to really bum me out when I was running 1 a week, and for some reason it would get delayed or canceled or something, and I'd be like, man, that really stinks. And now I've always got some D&D around the corner to look forward to. It's kind of fun painting with texture. I should do this more often. Obviously, different thicknesses are gonna take different amounts of time to dry. It's okay. Thanks, RPG Grandma. I'm excited about it. I mean, I'll be more excited when I can paint it up, but it's a good start. That's when it'll really start looking right. Kind of have this lifted up, so I don't know why I haven't thought about it before, but just as a way to not be bumping the supporter bricks up there so often. has been helping. It's like icing a really gross cake. Look at Jesse with those true facts. Alright, one trip around, starting to get clumpy. I might make a smaller batch this next time. It takes me too long to get it all out. What's up, Joe? Just painting some mess onto my hill. Okay, at some point I have to stop Jesse from spreading misinformation. Obviously, bricks are appreciated, but Jesse, if you're doing that with I would recommend you don't. Actually, for $3 a month, I don't care. You'll be fine. Claim whatever. I have a feeling that the IRS will have other things to worry about. Well, coming years. Joe, that's a good question. There are a bunch that I'm pretty proud of. There's one about brainstorming. I think it's actually exclamation point brainstorming. I'll bring that up. I really like that one because it was really the only time I've talked about something kind of overtly from my, like, I guess, career work and sort of applied it, kind of showed how I apply it to D&D, and I was pretty excited that that saw a good response. I'm always impressed with myself when I pull off stop motion work. Done that a few times, even if it doesn't always land. It lands for me. There are a couple of shorts that I did that I think involved so many different, so much coordination, just in how I shot it. One is I did one about time travel, and I did another one about world building, and those both come to mind, which is just like, they're very simple shorts, I guess, when you look at them, but they took forever, given the idea and kind of the nature of how I wanted to shoot it and how I wanted it to look. They took forever to do. But I was happy with how they turned out. Actually, I think I like that. I was gonna come through, see if I needed to smooth anything, but not bad. Like, I like anytime I'm able to sort of kind of tell a story. That could be fun. It's a good question, Eli. Conditioning. Had a lot of coffee over many years, and it's not so much. I mean, it will, I suppose, at some point probably make me jittery or something. But also, if I don't drink coffee in a day, I get a terrible headache. So it's a help and a hurt. Like it's almost medicinal at this point. Good thing I enjoy drinking it so damn much. Otherwise, it'd be a real problem. Yeah, like the actual textbook body is addicted to it, requires it type of addiction. Yeah, probably. If not me and coffee, then what and who? I don't know if it's just like that. I think mine will be. But hey, whatever you need to get up in the morning, Jesse. We all start our days the same way. Put our pants on one leg at a time, drink an obscene amount of coffee, line of Coke, out the door we go. I think we can all relate to that. Oh, fair. Sorry, I don't know the protocol, Jesse. I've tried. I've never been able to get into tea, unfortunately. Okay. Wow, that is early. All right. So now the arduous task of going down to the edge. What's up, Knight? Nice boulder. It'll be a grassy hill when I'm done. Absolutely. I would agree with that, Grandma. What's up, Illit? Hope you're doing well. As you may have heard, who had a live one shot? One of the big names, I assume. Who was it that did that, Illit? I'm pretty out of the loop on stuff like that. I guess both. Like, how did it? What's the story? I feel like I got some of the story from what you posted. Normally, flocking, I just use a, it's a combination of things. I've never done static, used a static applicator. Maybe I should. Typically no, I don't just paint it green. So for this, my plan is to, or what I was thinking was, everything gets kind of a brown gradient, and by that I mean I'm not going to, well, maybe it'll start painted flat, but I like to have a palette with kind of a mess of browns. You know, stone, earth, all of these things don't have consistent flat colors, and if you know, are not happy with the colors you end up with, it's probably because you're, like I used to, painting with consistent flat colors. And so I'll just like have a brush and have a bunch of water and liberally blend between them. And then I'll probably come back through and pick out spots that, because I don't know that I'll do complete grass coverage on this. I'm not sure yet. We'll just kind of take it step by step. But the first thing I would do is probably to green kind of the ground where the flocking is going to go. And then I have sort of the sand type of flock. I have other different types of grass, and to me it's all about the variety. So I'll go in with like a couple of different sandy flocks. I say not sandy, the sawdust stuff, you know, the really fine material. And then I'll come through with those little, I guess, bunches that you can get from, I think, Army Painter, you know, tufts, grass tufts. And then I'll come through with other, you know, kind of grass and shrub materials, just trying to make it kind of random and natural looking. And I'll just keep adding to it until I feel like it looks like a real thing. That's usually how I go about it. Cool, I'll check it out. Thanks for sharing an image. Oh, Dimension 20. Gotcha. Yeah, that's awesome. That makes sense. They've got a huge following. Still crazy impressive that they were able to do that. Getting there. Get in there. Let's see, I might do just a little bit. I need to grab some more water. Yeah, you've got the it's got the dimensions on the table, right? It's pretty big. Not technically, but I appreciate the thought. The stairs are on the first floor. Although there may be a hint of them down here, we'll see. It depends. If it's for terrain, sure. Like Krylon could be fine, but honestly, most of the stuff that I work on anymore is foam, so it's getting... I consider the Mod Podge and black paint step a pretty good primer. If it's a miniature, I like a brush-on primer. The American Army Painter. Sorry. That's my go-to, though I've used other stuff. I think the Vallejo has a spray-on primer that can be painted on. Who misses stairs? I don't even believe you. As we step closer and closer to a time when I could actually play like Oblivion, I cannot believe that you missed stairs. I shan't believe it. Well, I mean, yeah, probably at some point. My priority when it comes to primers or anything that I do is I don't want to leave my crafting space. And I don't have a booth. So now we're talking about going outside to spray prime something, and it's like, well, okay, is it cold? Probably. Is it a weird time of night? almost definitely. So that's what has me leaning more so towards the brush on stuff, because I can just do it right here. I don't know, Jesse, should I play Oblivion? If I was to play Oblivion, should I play the remaster, or should I go back and play the original? Kind of feels like I need to honor the original unless it's like total garbage now. Sometimes there's fun in seeing that old cruft. Really? Remaster? Okay. Probably some big quality of life improvements in the game. I have not read that, no. I'm actually not plugged into very many, like, kind of fantasy stuff. It's not really where I tend to draw my inspiration from. Definitely want the hill to sort of go up and over the edges of the stonework here. Sort of settled over the years. I just don't want any of the stonework like hanging over the hill, hanging over the earth. Because I think that will look weird. All right, this hill, or this is topper. This also needs... This is what goes on the top if I wanted to use it as just like a normal hill. Should be pretty straightforward. Just have to mix up some more. Hey, what's up, Gibson? What do you love about it? All right, you're back. I need to get more water. More water. Oh, I can't wait to see that. How's it coming along? Or is it done? Sculptamold and brown and black paint. Connor reminded me earlier. That way, in case any Sculptamold chips, the inside of the Sculptamold won't be like bright white. I mean, it can always be touched up, but it's an easy step. Okay, we're at the full on, I'm just making a horrible mess now, stage of Sculptamold. I was doing so well with the big piece. Calling it done so we don't mess it up. I have been there. That is a very valid place to be, to call it done. I'm not sure that there's a way for me to do that. I think that's a YouTube thing. Yes. Yeah, this is drying, but I hit the big hill first. So this is just the topper here. And then there's the hill, or sort of the cave door, I'm thinking of it as. And then I think I need to do the fringe around under the house where it connects. That one will be a little bit tricky. Only because you guys won't be able to see it. Man, this stuff is gross. Just literally spreading mud. That's pretty crazy. That's not my setting, by the way. That's how YouTube. That's how YouTube be. Yeah, that's why it's always good to call out the Discord for anything longer. You know, and for images and stuff like that, it tends to be good. Oh, wow. Thank you, Connor. I appreciate that. Luke Slater, Josh, Moss. I think at least Moss I've seen, I think has been on a brick before. Now make the bricks. You son of a... Make the bricks. I see what you're doing. Hey, Sector. Welcome to the stream. Oh, I'm great. Oh, did I miss Mia? Sorry. Let me see. Hey, Mia. I love how well made your short videos are. How long does it take you to make one? Good question. The unhelpful answer is that it depends. But it's been a lot better. And here I'm talking about, like, and I think you are too, the short videos that are not just clipped off a stream, right? Clipping stuff off a stream is its own kind of editing process, and that takes, you know, a while, kind of no matter what, just because it's a different mindset. Scripted, I think of everything else as scripted because I write a script. So the process basically amounts to, you know, I have a bunch of ideas and I write all those ideas down and I revisit those ideas and I'll write out a script and I'll time that script. Everything in my shorts is starts with sort of the spoken word stuff, and then I kind of make everything else fit against that. So I'll write a few versions of a script and get it timed out. Well, Zadra said you can still call me Sector, by the way, so that's what I'm referring to a little bit. Sorry. So once I get the script down and I get about 60 to 70 seconds, that's kind of been usually my goal, then I'll find music that fits with that, and I'll storyboard. So I usually have some ideas in mind anyway, And so I actually have, do I have one around here? Right, and then I'll storyboard what I'm gonna do. So this is let's find an interesting one. Yeah, so here are the storyboards for world building. Or sorry, not world building. That was just the name of that shot. Rubber ducking. And so I'll set it up basically kind of alongside the phrases, like the things that I'm going to say, and kind of the shots as I imagine them, and kind of which ones are going to jump cut, which ones are going to move. If I have any sound effects, if I have any visual effects that I'm going to do. And sometimes this stuff will change, but basically from here I can sort of end up with a list that when I sit down then next at the table, it actually goes a lot faster because now I'm checking off and I'm aware of kind of the whole thing. So in other words, like I might say that shot 1 and shot 7 both, I'm going to shoot those using the same stuff, so I'll shoot those at the same time. That saves a lot of time. So even though this does kind of add to it, and you can see I pretty much do it for every type that I do at this point. So even though it adds time to do the storyboarding, it helps a ton. So then I shoot everything, edit it. At that point, sometimes I'll even like take pictures of my storyboards and have those in my timeline ahead of time. So I've got it like basically timed out so that all I'm doing is basically replacing those storyboard images in my timeline with the video clips. Then I edit it. In the past, I don't have to do this anymore, but in the past I would edit 2 versions, one that's under 60 seconds and one that's over 60 seconds, because different platforms and different timings. Then I pull it into a service called Veed, V-E-E-D, which is where I do captioning, because I burn those into the videos themselves. And then it's the process of uploading. So I put things on 4 platforms, so there's a whole process of sort of all the metadata that goes along with it and all the details and stuff that get uploaded with a video, because it's not just a video. And then it's done. So everything that I just described there, depending on the complexity of the video, could just be, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. Sometimes they're much longer than that. I've done videos before that involved so much work that it was like a whole weekend, basically. That's not common, but I have done that. Usually it's the stop motion stuff. Or if I'm going to like make something, if I do the short, the ones that blew up that was like, here, let me make three levels of complexity for like 1 dungeon tile. Like here's a simple one, here's more complex, here's really crazy. That'll take hours just because I actually have to do all of that work multiple times. Like, in order to get 3 of them that look like that, I have to really kind of do it 3 times, only because I don't trust myself to not miss a shot. So I have all 3 states, whether it's sculpting or painting or whatever. That way I can always reference them for more shots if I need it. So hopefully that helps. It's a process. It takes a bit of time to do, and it's why I don't do as many since I've been on some of these big projects that I'm working on, because it takes so much time away from the projects I'm working on to do that stuff. But I hope to be able to get back to them. I've already started scripting some stuff that I want to start shooting, so hopefully. but I also have a backlog of stream clips dating back to basically January now. I think I've caught up to January, I think, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, thanks, Sector. Me, the planning execution process seems like this skill you've been a long time honing for your hobbies, your background. So I've never done my like I've always been interested in video stuff. I was lucky enough in my middle school that there was a daily TV show. They had TVs in all the rooms. It was like a closed circuit thing, and so I helped produce that. This is back, Jesse will like this. This is back when we had VCRs to swap between different things, like 2 or 3 stacked up, but we'd swap between them to play different things. But that got me started on a timeline editor. It was Avid at the time, and I remember the big red mouse that we used, and had a great middle school teacher for that, and that was really interesting. And then eventually got more into Premiere and things like that. So I've always been interested in it. And then then it was inspired to do stuff with D&D a couple of years back. And really, it's just about honing that process, right? It's the same thing as running sessions or any sort of hobbies where we get nervous about ourselves. Really, like, I just sat down and was like, I'm not going to think too hard about this until I've made 100 videos, because what do I really know about this? I made a video, I remember when I was like, this is my 100th video. It was more for me than for anybody else. Nobody else really cared. But if you go back and watch some of my early 5 or 10 videos, they are rough. All I did was pay attention, try to improve, try to find okay, here's the better way to shoot with my camera. Here's a better process for editing. Here's snappier. Here's how it needs to be punchy. It needs to hit at the beginning hard. These first 2 seconds really matter. And I just sort of figured it out over time that way. I just, yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, anytime. Happy to. It's always tricky, right? Because there's fun sort of sidebar things that I've picked up since doing all the stuff that I do for the channel and everything, but it just doesn't really fit anywhere. There's not much to do with it. My streaming setup or my Stream Deck buttons or all these, even just the storyboarding process. It's it's not really D&D. I don't really have any place to put this stuff, but I certainly find it really interesting. So I'm always happy for an excuse for talking about it. I'm sure I'll make videos about that kind of stuff at some point. Oh, I have stuff tucked everywhere. Hopefully, if I hit the supporter goal at some point, I'll do a kind of a workshop tour, talk about some of that. if you're talking about it's a sculptamold is what I'm using. Okay. I just mixed it with brown paint, so if it ever chips. Come on now. What's up, I can? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Sorry, the angle's not great right now, but I'm adding sculptamold to the fringe of this kind of connector piece that butts right up against the house. So I'm kind of carefully adding it that way. Get the minimum on the house and doesn't make for a good stream angle, unfortunately. But hopefully it ended up looking good. And see ya. Okay. Hello, goodbye. Okay. I think if I'm able to, I should probably. Yeah. Cool. All right. That's everything sculptamolded. Everything that I need anyway right now, which means everything's got to dry for some time and need to clean up a bit, but I still have time, so I am actually going to kill this stream and start up a new stream. If you know, you know, and maybe I'll catch some of you guys on in a few seconds. We'll see. I'm excited. I think all of that's gonna end up looking really good when it dries, or like mud, but like I can paint it, right? So we'll see. All right, awesome. Well, that's a pretty lame. That's a pretty lame send off. How about that? That's a little bit better.